Hello everyone and welcome back to Diablo 3. I know that we were probably going to get underway with actually re-showing the story, but let's just say that I've been in the means of collecting things that I was wanting to show on camera for this playthrough in terms of like stuff you can be able to do later on. And I figured since I have them, let's go ahead and just do it now before we actually get underway with the story and such. Plus, it lets me be able to take advantage of them while I can. So, for those of you who may not know, there are a few secret areas that you can be able to actually go to get lots of rewards, like very plentiful rewards. Now, this wasn't always the case with at least one of these areas. It used to be just kind of a little joke, and there was really nothing much you could get there. However, I think the developers started going, you know what, maybe we should turn this from just a joke or some kind of little gag into something that would actually benefit the players so that the players don't feel like they're just wasting their time. Let's actually make it worth their while. So they changed it where now you can get a lot of stuff from those areas. So I thought it would be fun before we actually get back to re-going through the story, this time as my Wizard Li-Ming, and you're probably noticing I'm using the Heroes of the Storm logo, which I just thought...
longer, I am going to rob you, just so you know.
Thanks, Lyndon. Anyways, you can probably, to no surprise, figure out that the reason I'm using the Heroes of the Storm portrait on Li-Ming is because, to me, Li-Ming is still to this day the most broken character I've ever seen enter Heroes of the Storm, and in my opinion, she still is. I will never forget when she was introduced into that game. It was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. She was so unbelievably strong. They toned her down over time, but to me, her trait is still one of the most absurdly overpowered things I've ever seen, and it was never changed, and yeah. I know that many of you have probably noticed that I don't do Heroes of the Storm videos anymore. I've essentially quit the game, even though there are times I do go back to it on occasion. You've also probably heard that it's now gone into maintenance mode, and that, means no new content for that game. I'm probably thinking of doing just one more video as a farewell, covering the one character on that roster I've yet to cover, and that's Hogger. I haven't made a video about him since he was added. So I'll probably make a video about him and then officially call it done with Heroes of the Storm on this channel. But yeah, that's why it's, I still have a kind of a thing of, oh gosh, like Li-Ming is still one of those characters in Heroes of the Storm that I just can't stand because of how strong she was always was and how frustrating it was to play against her. But she's probably my favorite character in Diablo 3. So it's just kind of one of those irony things. You'll also notice my Paragon has changed since the last video. I've been doing some stuff, doing some riffs, testing some stuff, even changing pieces of gear and powers. You'll notice I have the Firebird's Tarsi back on. That's because I actually realized that I was getting more of a bonus from this as a power at 900% instead of when I was wearing them at 800%. So, yeah. Like I said, it's still, I just was doing some stuff, but when I was doing so, I ended up getting some things that allowed me to be able to show you guys these secret areas, which is what this video is going to basically be about. I also got another primal to drop when I was doing a rift on my monk. It's a Squirt's Necklace. And I'm just thinking, of all the primals to drop as an amulet, it had to be Squirt's Necklace. And I'm just looking at this, and I'm wondering, what character could I put this on? That benefits from this whole glass cannon, effect of not taking damage. Your damage is increased, but so is your damage taken, It's something I'll figure out later. But anyways, these right here are the reason that we're doing this video right here. The Staff of Herding. The Bovine Bardish. This I just got. I've never had this before. You're going to see me experience this for the first time. The Petrified Scream. And the Puzzle Rings. So I had a couple more. I already went through them just kind of testing this out. But yeah, I still have some stuff here from trying to craft those other pieces here. But these are the main things here. So I'm going to try and do this from memory. If not, I'll just go ahead and go to the wiki and try to remind myself how to do this. So, when it comes to the Staff of Herding, from what I remember of reading on the wiki, what you're supposed to do is we're supposed to make our way towards Old Tristram. Which means... go to the old ruins. And then we're going to head this direction.
While we slept. They are everywhere. Run! Save yourself!
By the way, it took me forever to get what I need in order to make this Staff of Herding. So, this is supposed to be the area where we go to. We're supposed to have it in our inventory. And then we're supposed to find some bones nearby. There he is.
A good shot!
So, this is the ghost of the Cow King.
We see you have brought the item. That is good. We are utterly pleased.
Lol.
You're a cow. Cows don't talk. Unless... has my disintegrate spell been working on my wits instead of my enemies?
And you are a stinking bag of flesh with no fur. Touché. This is no time to be silly. The level of sparkling happiness and rainbows awaits you.
You mean the cow level?
No! There is no cow level. Now, move along.
I'm sorry, I love that they made that very humorous. I also love that they gave specific voice acting to the character you're doing this on. And of course, that's so Li-Ming. I love that she is just very humorous about that. And I love that there's kind of a fourth wall breaking here where she's like, do you mean the cow level? He's like, no, we all know there is no cow level. What are you talking about? So... how many of you are aware that when this game was first announced and it was kind of shown previews that people were kind of up in arms and in uproar because of how it looked? Ever since this game was announced, people have been in uproar about the graphic style of this game and about how its presentation, and of course the common thing I've always heard is, it's not dark enough, blah 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 blah. So let's just say the reaction was kind of over the top, to the point where Blizzard and the dev team were like, okay, you think it's too cartoony? You think it looks too silly? Why don't we show you something that actually is way too over the top, silly, and cartoony? I actually got the achievement for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Whimsyshire. Now, I've already shown this on camera in my original playthrough, but that was kind of I just happened to be lucky and run into a treasure goblin that was also a rainbow treasure goblin to let me get a portal to this place. What you just saw is basically the way to access this place. You have the Staff of Herding, you go there, you talk to the Ghost of the Cow King, and that's how you access it. Now, apparently this is not the version that I'm used to seeing, which is the one that gets opened by that goblin. Because that one, if you're killing enemies and, touching the clouds and such, you're getting a ton of stuff to drop. tons of gold, tons of gear, tons of stuff to make it worth your while. And unfortunately, it looks like this version doesn't do that.
I'll have to pay attention.
What is also amusing is the amount of over-the-top carnage that takes place here, because, you know, we're encountering flowers and teddy bears and unicorns, and oh, it's so wonderful and cute and adorable. And they attack us, and when we kill them, they blow up and explode into bloody bits.
Still waiting. Not ready yet.
So I think because this is kind of easily accessible, you'll notice the Staff of Herding is still in my inventory. And I guess maybe this is something you can be able to now access, that once you have the staff, you can access it whenever you can or want. But this is not the version I would recommend. The version that I'm used to, if you're out running around and doing bounties or doing rifts, is that, like I said, you'll see a treasure goblin, but it'll look like it's like colored rainbow and such. And so when you encounter that one and you kill it, it'll leave open a portal to Whimsyshire. But the version that portal goes to, like I'm saying, like when you touch these clouds here, you'll have a lot more gold show up, more gear will show up. Like, I found myself going back and forth between this place and town. Like, right there, all those gems that just came out, that's an example of what I'm talking about. Now imagine that happening for almost every single cloud in this area, or all these presents, and you're getting tons of Forgotten Souls to rain out, or Death's Breath, you know, all kinds of different resources and currency that is very useful. That's the version that I always hope to see whenever I see a treasure goblin, or rather a rainbow treasure goblin. Because boy oh boy is it like, well, I've got tons of resources now. That was definitely a trip worthwhile. And I think that was the intent when the developers made change to this, because as I said, this version is mainly just as a kind of a little joke, a little gag by the developers, kind of poking fun at a lot of people's over-the-top reaction. Not the reaction in general. Because if your reaction to how this looks is like, oh gosh, this is not what I'm used to, this is not Diablo, it's not like Diablo 2 where everything was very dark and such, that's fine, that's totally fair. If that's your opinion on the matter, then that's entirely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what your opinion is, then fine, by all means. What was getting kind of, I guess, annoying to the developers was how over-the-top some of the reactions were. About it looking extremely cartoony and just like, you know, a whole bunch of stuff that they were just kind of getting tired of hearing. So they decided to go ahead and make this as kind of a little let's poke fun at those reactions. Which I'm like, okay, sure. Like, I'm all for, you know, doing things like this to kind of poke fun at those kinds of over-the-top negative reactions, just to make it, like...
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Almost to let those who have had those reactions kind of take a look at themselves and go, you know what, maybe I was kind of overreacting to that. And maybe that was the developer's intent when this happened. Part of the issue with this version of Whimsyshire is that it feels like it sometimes can take a little too long. Like, it's like, okay,
Need more time.
because I'm not getting much out of this, I kind of wish this was over already so I could be able to kind of move on and go somewhere that's more beneficial, like a better place to farm, where I can actually get more gear, gold, resources. Let me go ahead and turn the game down a bit, just in case it's hard to hear what I'm saying. So, I was very happy when I realized that they made the change to Whimsyshire here, but like I said, it seems like it's only for that version that you hopefully can encounter while doing open world stuff, like rifts as well as bounties. You're not going to encounter them while doing greater rifts, obviously, because you're trying to finish a greater rift. But if you do a regular rift, well, that's going to be different. Then you'll probably have a shot of encountering some of the a goblin like that.
Still waiting.
I was always curious about how some people's reaction to this place was when they first saw it, because some people have seen this and they're just like, oh my gosh, what is this place?
Need more.
And they didn't realize the story about that, about how the devs were like, kind of, I don't blame them if they were like legit getting tired of hearing people like complain about, you know, the game not being dark enough and all that stuff, and they were just like, okay, you know what, fine, here.
I am unstoppable.
You don't think it's dark enough? Well, here. Let's show you something that really isn't dark enough. Again, it's really amusing, though, to me, like, it's flowers and teddy bears and unicorns! And then we kill them, they just blow up and splatter into body parts and blood and gore and such. But hey, it's, you know, because hey, it's still a Diablo game, so you gotta have your enemies explode in blood and gore, right? Oh, there you go. Another, that looked like it was another Blackguard sword. Probably not going to be beneficial for me, but maybe I can always, stash it away for another character. So yeah, this is usually how big the map can get for this place, so... Alright, so it looks like I've covered the whole place, so let's go back. It's time to show you guys another place. So, we just had a chat with the Ghost of the Cow King about there not being a cow level. And we thought, hey, is this the cow level? He's like, no, of course not. There is no cow level. By the way, it looks like I was right. Yep, it's another Blackguard. But it's not ancient. I already have an ancient on my Crusader, so let's go ahead and stash these gems away. So now let me show you the actual cow level. Now, in order to do this, what you need is this right here, the Bovine Bardiche. I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly. You'll see that it's a polearm, and that its legendary ability is a chance to summon a herd of murderous cows. This polearm was crafted by the finest ungulate smiths, its blade fired in the Hellforge, quenched in the rancid milk of the Cow King, and enchanted by that self-same monarch. In addition to its significant martial benefits, the Bovine Bardiche may also summon forth a veritable army of cows to fight on its wielder's behalf. Now I'm going to have to get another one of these because I don't have this as a legendary power extracted into the Kanai's Cube over here. But I wasn't going to pass up this opportunity to actually show you guys this on camera. So, by the way, the Staff of Herding is only one bovine in all Sanctuary could possibly have a use for this. You know, and we already met him. So just go ahead and put it over here. So, you go over here to the Kanai's Cube. You put the Bardiche in. And voila. So then a portal opens. It says, it leads to a place that does not exist. The Burning Hills...
Use a strong hand to help you out.
Yeah, thanks, Cormac. The Burning Hells are not responsible for events that transpire there. If you claim to have been to this place, you will be called a liar. Void where prohibited. Yeah. Welcome to not the cow level. Now, I showed you guys the cow level in Diablo 2. This is the cow level in Diablo 3. You don't have nearly as much of the moo, 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 moo. More actual cow sounds.
If only they could see me now. waiting.
Bridges!
You dare attack me?
As you can probably notice, there's already probably a number of other things here that make this place more worthwhile farming than that version of Whimsyshire I showed you. You'll notice there's a lot of chests. You'll also notice some slain farmers. And each of these farmers drops a lot of gold. Also, listen to the music in the background. Kind of a little twang.
I am unstoppable.
The Cow Queen!
I need healing.
Whew.
Healed.
Need to be a little careful. I am still playing on Torment 13. So I need to be a little careful.
If only they could see me now.
By the way, if you're wondering what this field is, I'll show you in a moment. It's a new belt I got while I was doing riffs.
My knowledge increases.
What is that? I'll have to pay attention.
So, it's this right here. Chord of the Shurma. Chance on hit to create a chaos field that blinds and slows enemies inside for 3 seconds. So I thought, okay, that could probably benefit me more so than what I was wearing before, because now that adds a bit of crowd control to let me be able to kind of deal with some of the enemies that surround me in greater rifts, giving me a chance to take them down while they are crowd controlled. Oh gosh. Sorry, my eye is actually bothering me at the moment. Hold on. Yikes. It's like one of those moments where it's like all of a sudden that sounded redundant. Where just all of a sudden your eye just starts feeling like all bothersome and you don't know why. But yeah, you'll see a lot of slain farmers all over the place. Lots of chests all around the place. So yeah, already this place is very much more worthwhile to go to than Whimsyshire, at least the version I just showed you. You'll also notice there's an event here. So we've already talked to the Ghost of the Cow King, but we can talk to him again.
I am unstoppable. Are nothing.
Hey, buddy.
Time to get moving. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he summons a bunch of these guys to fight us. The Infernal Bovine Horde!
you.
4 chess. And if you think this is one of the only places where you can get a ton of gold here, oh, no, no, no. That's what the puzzle rings are for. I mean, obviously, I'm getting a lot of gold here because of chests and such. I'm also getting quite a few Legos here, but then again, I'm on Torment 13. That's one of the things I love about playing this game on higher difficulties. To me, this is my ideal version of, if you're going to offer me, like, higher difficulties in a game, make it worth my while. Like, really try and offer me some kind of incentive to do so. Not, like, the challenge thing alone is, for me, is not enough. Because there's plenty of other ways to do that on your own. You don't even have to have, like, the official difficulties do that. Because people create, like, challenge runs and such all the time on their own. Something the game itself doesn't necessarily offer because the players just have to basically do it on their own. But if the game has a way of offering me, like, okay, if you play on a higher difficulty, here's what you get in return. This is one of the more perfect, ideal ways for me to do so. And I can be able to, at some point later, show you guys what that's like. And I've even shown it to you before, where you can be able to see the, the exact differences of how much gold you get, how much XP you get, how much increased chance you get for legendaries to drop because you're playing on higher difficulties. Alright, so we've almost uncovered the entire map over here.
How does that feel?
I will say this about the cow level from Diablo 2 over this one. I miss hearing the silly moo, 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 moo. Like, I get that here they were probably going for more realistic cow moo sounds and such, and of course you've got the Ghost of the Cow King doing the joke about, like, time to move along and all that. I'm sure the voice actor had some fun with that. But it just doesn't sound nearly as funny or hilarious as the cows from Diablo 2 did. The fact that it just literally was the guys just in the office just getting around a microphone just doing a bunch of random moo, 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 moo. It just added just a much more hilarious comical element to it. Whereas here, it's like, I mean, it's still funny. We're fighting a bunch of murderous cows. Of course it's of course this is funny.
Do it in Kingsport.
It's just probably not as funny. And maybe that's also the price of, like, part of the funny element of that one was that the voice acting for that sounded bad because they weren't necessarily trying to actually do good sounds or such. They were just kind of do just a bunch of random sounds just to get across the point that, oh, you're fighting a bunch of cows. And isn't it amazing when... I think I talked about this when we were going through the cow level in D2. That the entire reason that this became a thing was because of the way that things worked back in the days of Diablo 1. in terms of how video games were, but also news about games and Easter eggs and all that stuff, because there was really no internet around to either prove or disprove anything. The rumor was the thing back in the day, and it's basically how the whole thing with the cows got started. And it just continued and blew up to, well, what you see now today. Is the reason why the cow level existed in Diablo 2 and why it continued in D3. And that's the cow level map.
I am returning to town.
Got more Legos out of that than I did, Whimsyshire. Let me put the Staff of Herding back. Go ahead and drop off the gems. So speaking of gold and gems, one of the things that became very famous about this game, of course, is the Treasure Goblin. Which, in fact, hold on a second. Let me, alphabetical, right? There we are.
Some devious little goblins have been robbing our merchants. When pursued, they simply open portals and disappear with the most aggravating chuckle. The peasantry seem to believe that the goblins serve a great demon lord known as Greed. And furthermore, that their portals lead to Greed's domain. A ludicrous notion, truly.
Truly? Is it truly ludicrous? Or is there possibly something more to it?
Please don't take that scoundrel Linden.
Not your first idea. Not quite.
So, the puzzle ring, if you're lucky enough to get this, it's summon a treasure goblin who picks up normal quality items for you. After picking up, it drops a rare with a chance for a legendary. You can be able to extract the power and use it on lower level characters if you want, but honestly, the real reason to get this is what I just did. You put it in the Kanai's Cube, it opens a portal to the vault. This is the place, like he said, the domain where Greed and the treasure goblins stay. You see them all in the background, where they steal all the loot and gold and such, and they bring it here. I forget when they actually added this area, but let's just say I'm sure that after everyone just kept seeing the treasure goblins show up and then disappear, that they were all really wanting to be able to actually like, go after them or go to where they actually keep all that stuff. You'll see some more treasure goblins in here, of course, and some vault peons. And of course there's piles of treasure around which we can be able to destroy in order to get tons of gold and treasure out of it.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
What's also great for doing it on this character for me is that I have the legendary gem Boon of the Hoarder fully maxed out. So now I have a 100% chance on killing an enemy to cause an explosion of gold. So coming here with a fully maxed out legendary Boon of the Hoarder, well, as you can see, I am getting a ton of gold. Where you can, of course, encounter more treasure goblins hiding in the riches here.
Let me check the treasure.
An insufferable miscreant! Tons of gems, crafting stuff. You saw that, right? Like, just tons, thousands and thousands of gold in these piles of valuables and treasure here. So now we go to the Inter Sanctum. Big, gigantic gem here in the middle. Look at all the gold and treasure around this area. And right over here, this is greed. Gigantic fat goblin. The Baroness of the Vault. When you defeat her, she gets put in a giant treasure chest. And then you just open it to get loot. Did I just get... I'm gonna laugh if she just gave me a couple more puzzle rings. So yeah, then it's gonna close the portal in 60 seconds after that. By the way, before you leave, you can just keep doing this. If you enjoy doing that, apparently. So those have been the three main areas to go to. So, let me go ahead and take a moment here to show you guys what I was talking about in terms of proper difficulty that I love about this game. This is one of my favorite difficulty systems I've ever seen. And I sincerely mean that. This is kind of what I'm talking about here. When you go down to, say, normal, it's like, well, that's the baseline Diablo 3 experience. You're not getting extra gold or XP. You go to hard, 75% more of those things. Expert, 100%. Master, 200%. And now you can get Imperial Gems to drop at 61%. And then when you get to Torment, 300%, plus now you can get new legendary items available, and additional golden XP drops rate per Torment level. So now, the amount of gold and XP and drop rate for legendaries increases every Torment level. You'll see here, 400, 550, 800. This, to me, is excellent incentive right here. Being able to, like, okay, if you're going to go this higher and try more difficult stuff, this is the amount of extra stuff that you'll be able to get while doing so. It's such, for me, it's such great incentive. It's like I'm getting rewarded and having it made worth my while to actually do some of this higher difficult stuff. And of course, that doesn't even count the extra amazing New Game Plus that this game has, which is one of the ways that I'll be able to show it to you in this way. Because that's basically what this is. I can literally choose any quest at any point in any act to go to. So when we start the story again, I'll be able to literally just go here and just begin the first quest of Act 1. And I can do this for every single portion and every quest of the story. Just wherever I want. I absolutely love this system. This is one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite, New Game Plus system I've ever seen. And I really wish other games would actually take advantage of this. I haven't seen many other games actually bother to do anything about that, and I really wish they would. Okay. So. Wait, why did we go here? Let's go back to Tristram. So I'm just curious. While we're here, before we try this new thing out, put this over here. Let me clear up some of the other stuff that's not legendary. There we go. Huh. I'll mess around, take a look at this stuff later. Just kind of sort it out later on my own. But for now, I want to try something I've never done before, and I heard about this. And I was curious about how this was going to work. So, apparently in the previous season, because at the time I'm making this, season, I think 27 has just started, which is the one where you can make items sanctified.
Take that scoundrel Lyndon. Anything but that.
But he's hilarious, Cormac. Anyways, there was a feature from a previous season called Echoing Nightmares. Now, I don't really do seasons. I've tried it once, and I don't know, there's just something about it that I'm just like, I think I'd rather do something else. And, like, the whole, like, because then it makes me feel like I would have to focus on this one game only during this season time and not do anything else. Probably because I don't know how to get the most out of it efficiently. Like, I have a friend right now who is already at over 1,000 Paragon in this season. And it's only been like a week. Or even not even that. And I'm just thinking, how did she do that? Did she, like, just play this nonstop? Did she have friends to help? I don't know. But there are apparently secrets to how to play this game that I don't know myself. In terms of how to get the most out of it. Or, you know, do stuff fast. I don't know. That's part of the reason why I don't play seasons. Because I don't know everything there is to know about how to play this game at the most high efficient level possible. But from what I understand, this feature was so well received that the development team decided to make it a permanent addition to the game. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. If it's that good and they want to make it permanent, I'll be interested in trying it out. And I wasn't really sure what it was. Like, I just heard about it, but I didn't know what exactly it was. And then when earlier I was doing a Greater Rift, I had this thing drop. Petrified Scream. Transmute in Kanai's Cube to open a portal to the Echoing Nightmare. When held close to the ear, you can hear the wails of grieving Nephilim mourning the fall of their society. I legit have never done one of these. I don't know what exactly is going to happen. I don't know what to expect. This is going to be like a legit first time me experiencing this. Just letting you guys know. So this could be interesting. But I'm going to let you guys see my first time checking this out.
Not what I would do, but when is that starting?
Your defenses are nothing.
Kill as many enemies as possible before you are overwhelmed.
King's Paw.
Still unstoppable.
First things before they kill me, and I mean us.
I am unstoppable. Need more time. Not ready yet. How does that feel? Need more time. If only they could see me now. I need arcane power.
Yikes!
Still with
Oh, those explosions!
I don't have enough arcane power.
Uh-oh.
How does that feel? waiting. Your defenses are nothing.
I don't think I've ever had a kill streak this large before. Like they're all exploding.
Not ready yet. I'm badly wounded. Your defenses are nothing.
Thanks.
Heal me. I wish I could do that.
I need healing.
Ah.
Someday you'll be as good as me.
Wow. So that's what that is. Huh. Overwhelmed at tier 92. Now what was that I just got? Wow. A legendary gem that is already leveled. Utilized for augmenting ancient legendary items only. Huh. I've never seen that before. Well, I'd like to think that was pretty good for my first time ever experiencing that. It's a good thing I was on my wizard so I could be able to teleport, because yikes, those explosions. Nothing new in terms of stuff I haven't gotten before. It's always exciting when you see new transmog, because then it's like, oh, something I haven't gotten before. Huh. I'm going to have to do some research, because, of course, like, the wiki stuff is great for looking up items in these games, so you can be able to know what these are for or how to use them properly. Because I've got plenty of ancient legendary items to use this on. I just would like to know how exactly I'm supposed to use it. Plus, it's interesting it's already at rank 91, and I'll bet, I guess that's what it was about. The higher tier you got doing that Echoing Nightmare must have determined what rank this gem was. Because it said that I made it to rank tier 91. And then it said tier 92, so I don't know, but... Huh. I'm definitely curious about that. So that was interesting. So I can probably see why that was so well received. Just a way to get lots of high kill streaks, but also to try and get something to actually be very highly ranked, and then actually apparently use it to augment some other ancients you have. That's interesting. So, I will go ahead and probably do some research on that to try and figure that out. But actually, you know what? Before we go ahead and cut this off, let's go ahead and do the vault one more time.
I suppose that will work.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
I always hope to see one of those goblins that drops blood shards. Even though I'm near my cap. My cap right now is 1250. That's one of the reasons why I've been trying to work on my Greater Rift achievement. Or personal, like, you know, what I've been able to personally accomplish with those. So I can increase the cap.
I'm just warming up.
Oh my goodness! One of these guys, the blue ones, which split up into tinier ones.
Need more time.
Woo! And that is one of the reasons why it's great to see those blue ones. Look at that. Woo! Probably gonna run out of inventory space while I'm here. Woo! Probably not gonna be running out of Death's Breath anytime soon.
Your grave awaits!
Lyndon has some great lines when treasure drops. Like, I smell treasure! Or, what do you say I carry half now and then you can give me the other half later? Or I'm messing up that line. He says it better than I do. And it's really funny. Where he basically implies, like, he'll take half of it now and then half of it when and then half of it when we get back to town. Something like that. It's really funny.
Not ready yet.
Alright, let's go kill Greed again. Okay.
I am returning to town.
So anyways, those are the secret areas of Diablo 3. Pretty sure there aren't any more, not that I can think of in terms, outside of, say, set dungeons or some of those other little things that you do that you require, like getting the set. Which you'll notice my little portrait here has the Firebird one because I was able to pull off mastering that set dungeon with my Firebird set. I was pretty proud of being able to pull that off, so... Anyways, those are the secret areas in Diablo 3, and hopefully you'll be able to get them and pull off accessing them. If you're curious about how to, say, because I forgot to mention this, in order to create the Staff of Herding, you need some specific items. Wurt's Bell, Black Mushroom, Liquid Rainbow, the Gibbering Gemstone, and Leoric Shinbone. If you want to find how and where to get these, you can find all the information online on the Diablo wiki page. You're probably going to have to spend some time farming it, because it took me a long time to get the Gibbering Gemstone. So that is something to take note of. But anyways, other than that, yeah, those are the secret areas. You gotta be able to hopefully get lucky at getting the Bovine Bardiche to drop, maybe encounter a specific Greater Rift boss that's a cow that can drop it for you. Hope that a puzzle ring can drop. Hope that a rainbow treasure goblin can show up and open a portal to the better version of Whimsyshire than what I showed you. Trust me, that version you get a lot of gold and gear in that one. And yeah, that's basically it. And then also hopefully hope that a petrified scream will drop for you so you can be able to take part in that echoing nightmare. So anyways, those are the secret areas of Diablo 3. Probably when we return is when we will actually try and start the story of Diablo 3 and show it as from Li-Ming's perspective, and with her going through the story, plus me getting to also show you when we eventually get to Act 5, and I'll probably also try and see if I can show this on other characters, even though honestly the best one is the one for Li-Ming. The other ones are just kind of and boring, but the one for Li-Ming is the most interesting because it's a character we know from Diablo 2. But anyways, stay tuned.